Hello there. Excuse me. It is I once again, Jordan, aka Defcos, One Piece fanboy extraordinaire. Despite the Naruto T-shirt, um, I do like Naruto, but I'm not actually that big of a Naruto fan. I just have Naruto shirts, so I wear them sometimes. Um, but anyway, I just wanted to make a video today because the new chapter for One Piece is gonna drop tomorrow, and I actually haven't done any new chapter reviews in a while. Like in like a couple, like I want to say maybe a couple months, like 2 months or something like that, maybe even more than that. I haven't done a review, or like a reaction video. I used to uh, react to the video to the chapter. When it dropped, and I would record that, and then I would upload it to YouTube. And I haven't done that in a while now. So I wanted to do something a little bit different this video. I'm not doing a reread. I'm not doing well, I guess I am doing a reread, but it's not the volume. It's the newer chapters. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go through. I think I stopped at chapter 1060, and I think the most recent chapter was it 1064 or 1065? Um, the most recent chapter is I forgot, because I'm gonna be using the official translation. Okay, let's see here. Okay, 1064 is the most recent chapter. 59. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just kind of revisit the last 5 chapters of One Piece, and I'm going to record myself while I do it, and I'm going to um, just talk about it a little bit, uh, just so that I can cover these chapters, because I do want to go back to doing the reaction videos, because I do like doing that. So yeah, so here I am. I'm doing it right now. I pulled up chapter 1060, uh, and it starts off with the Straw Hats reacting to the news that Sabo killed Cobra, and Luffy doesn't believe it, which I don't believe it either. Um, and then they're wondering what to do about Vivi because Vivi's missing. So Luffy wants to go to Alabasta. Um, then he says he wants to go to Marijoa, and they're all like kind of freaking out because they're like, oh shit, what should we do about Vivi? Um, then Zoro kind of calms Luffy down and tells him we have to let Vivi have her own adventures the same way Ace has his own adventures or had his own adventures. Um, so yeah, so they decide to just let Vivi be. Um, oh yeah, and then we get the part where Luffy reveals his dream to the rest of the crew, or like I guess like the end of his dream is what he says. Um, so I guess his dream, like I mean, we've known about this for a while, or we speculated about this for a while. Um, what he's talking about, but apparently it has something to do with like he becomes Pirate King, and then something else has to happen in his mind. And everybody's like, "What? What are you talking about?" But we don't get to know what it is, and I wonder why I wonder why Oda has chosen to convey this way. Because he did this before with Roger, and then when Luffy and Ace and Sabo were kids, like Luffy says his dream, they get to hear it, they get to react to it, but the audience doesn't get to know what it is. And I really wonder what's going on with that. Like, what is it? Like, what could he possibly be talking about where the characters can know, but the audience can't? Um, yeah, I really wonder what's up with that. Oh yeah, and then we cut to the Marines and the Revolutionaries. Um, they're on the Kino of Lulusia. And apparently I guess it's one of the ancient weapons that destroys Lulusia. Um, yeah, I guess that's what that is. Something destroyed Lulusia. And there was a scene where we see the hand cross off Lulusia, and it's Eam. We see Eam. So it's got to be one of the ancient weapons, and it just wipes Lulusia off the map. And Sabo is on Lulusia. So what's going on with that? Like, what happened to Sabo? um, because if the island gets wiped out, Sabo has a devil fruit. If he falls into the water, he can't swim. Uh, where's Sabo? What happened to Sabo? That's been a question we've been asking ourselves for a while. Like, what happened to Sabo? And then we get to see Sabo, and now it's back to what happened to Sabo. And then we cut back to the Straw Hats. God, I love One Piece's art. I'm looking at the scene where the Mary is in the middle of the storm, like the snowstorm like at sea, and they run into the eddy. um, and it just looks so awesome, like the way the wind's blowing and the ship, the way it's tilted with the wind, and the way the water's drawn. I really like the way it's drawn. And then Zoro slices open the eddy, and Bonnie pops out. So I think this is pretty cool. Um, that Bonnie is becoming a more prominent character finally, because Bonnie got introduced way back in the day, um, at the Sabodi archipelago. I always have trouble with that word. But yeah, she got introduced then, and we really haven't seen much of her since. She showed up a couple times, I think. I remember there was the time that Blackbeard, like I think Blackbeard kidnapped her. Um, but she always seems to be by herself. I think at the Sabodi archipelago. God, I can't say that word. Um, I remember. I think she had a crew. I'm pretty sure she had a crew. But then after that, she always seems to be by herself. I think she mentions that she has a crew, or am I mistaken? I'm pretty sure she mentioned that she had a crew. Um, but she's by herself. Um, okay, now we're on to chapter 1061. Yeah, this video might be laggy a little bit. My computer is such a piece of trash. Um, but hopefully it's not too bad. Okay, so Chapter 1061. Um, so Luffy saves Bonnie. Then there's the giant shark robot that's under the sunny. Jinbei saves Luffy and Chopper and Bonnie. Then the giant robot shows up and punches the shark. So I guess Vegapunk's creations, they're not all like in sync with each other. I guess they can be at odds with each other. They're not necessarily like friends, I guess. Um, oh yeah, we cut to the Navy HQ real quick. Not HQ, but the a naval branch. Um, and we get to see the kids from Punk Hazard, which is pretty awesome. Haven't seen them in a while. It's cool to see what they're up to. And apparently they're shrinking, like they're giving them medicine. We see a character named Doll. Hal Meppo shows up. A character named Hibari, who seems to be a big fan of Kobe. Who I'm pretty sure that's the first time we've seen Hibari. Then we get to see Prince Groose, and they want to go save Kobe. Or at least that's what Hal Meppo wants to do. We're so close to Egghead, we could take the Seraphim. Then we cut back to Luffy and Jinbei and Chopper. They've gotten separated from the other members of the crew, and they've washed up on Egghead Island. Um, and then the other Straw Hats, the robot that punched out the shark, just picks up the Sunny. It's like huge, and it picks up the Sunny. And then a chick who calls herself Dr. Vegapunk steps out of the robot. But it turns out, and it was kind of obvious from the get-go, but it turns out that that's not, like, actually Dr. Vegapunk. Um, but it's cool that we're finally, like, in Vegapunk's territory. Like, we're finally exploring Vegapunk a little bit more. Um, because Vegapunk has been a character that we've been talking about for a while. Like, when are we gonna meet him and stuff like that. And it's cool that it looks like we're finally gonna meet Vegapunk. We've already met, a couple of his satellite bodies. Um, oh yeah, I think this is cool. How Shaka is talking to Lilith about how she's a little bit in over her head. She doesn't realize it. How Zoro is like at the ready, like he could take her down in like a split second. So could Nico Robin. And then Zoro says, "Hey Vegapunk, we've got some demands, and you're going to listen. Got that?" And I wonder what he means. I remember in the scanlations, I think he said something like, "I have some questions I want to ask you." I think that's what he said in the scan. Um, so yeah, so I really wonder what that's about too. Like, what is he talking about? Um, yeah, then he says to bring the Straw Hat crew to him. So that's cool, and that's the number one satellite, Shaka. So I guess that's like almost like meeting the actual Vegapunk. Oh yeah, then Bonnie talks about how Kuma is her father. You see, this isn't Elbaf, by the way. A lot of people were talking about how the next arc was going to be Elbaf. I mean, Elbaf still might come up, but apparently this. I mean, this is we're in the middle of the next of like the new arc, and it's Egghead, um, which nobody expected. Nobody saw that coming. Um, oh yeah, yeah, and then they come across all the holograms. And then they come across another one of Vegapunk's satellite bodies. Atlas. Oh yeah, and then we see Kaku, Lucci, and Stussy are apparently on their way to Egghead to eliminate all the Vegapunks. And then there's the Kuma in the background, the Seraphim Kuma. All right, on to the next one. Okay, so um, okay, so we start off with Luffy and Chopper and Bonnie, who have eaten to like to the point where they get super fat. That's pretty funny. Then Luffy puts on the futuristic clothes. I like the outfit. I just wish he had pants on because he just has like a giant shirt, like a giant coat. And then his legs are exposed. And then he has the big boots. It's kind of weird looking. Yeah, I think Bonnie looks way cooler. Bonnie's outfit actually looks dope. And then Jinbei has the Hawaiian shirt on. Chopper looks pretty cool. It fits Chopper better. Then there's the big Kuma police officer, like the like pacifista, and attacks them, shoots a laser because they took food and clothes. And then Luffy goes to hit the Kuma with a fucking what's it called, elephant gun, and Bonnie hits him with like a heel kick, like a upside down heel kick to stop him. It's funny. I wonder if Oda always knew that Bonnie was gonna be Kuma's daughter, or if he came up with that a little bit later down the line. I wonder. I wonder because he's never mentioned Kuma being uh, Bonnie's dad until now. At least I don't think so. Okay, and then we cut to Law, who's facing off against Blackbeard, and then he there's the panel where Law turns into a chick. That's pretty cool. We get to see like a gender swapped Law, and Beppo too. Beppo just has hair now, and then Sachi and Penguin too. And apparently it turns into it's like an effect of Doc Q's sick fruit where he it's the feminization disease. So it's actually like a disease that turns them into into women. And then Burgess has the strong fruit. He just pick up a mountain. It's funny, that's such a basic fruit. Like, that's such a basic power just to have super strength. And Burgess looked like he was pretty strong to get to, like, to begin with. Uh, but it's funny how long it took for a character to just be strong, just to be super strong. I wonder who Burgess is gonna fight. Is he gonna fight Zoro? And Van Auger has the warp fruit. He can just teleport. And then Blackbeard says, "Yeah, like I'm gonna take all your rolled pounding glass." And then Law is like, Blackbeard has got to be more powerful when everything's said and done. Okay, chapter 1064, the most recent chapter. Uh, we start off with the fight, Law versus Blackbeard. Uh, Blackbeard readies the Quake ability, and Law cuts the horse in half because Blackbeard is like standing on Doc Q and Stronger, the horse with wings. I think it's cool that Law's crew, they're not just pushovers, like they're actually capable, which makes sense, honestly. Like, I mean, I guess they're not like on the level of the Straw Hats, but it makes sense that they can handle themselves. I mean, they are a pirate crew in the middle of the New World. They're not a Yonko. I guess Law is not a Yonko like Luffy is, even though they have the same bounty. Um, but they're a strong pirate crew. Um, oh yeah, and is it Sachi or Penguin who does the water cannon out of his mouth thing? Um, everybody on YouTube was like, "What the fuck is up with that? Like, is he a fishman?" I don't know if he's a fishman. I just feel like it's just One Piece, and he's able to do weird stuff. Um, it is weird though, but One Piece is weird. Law hits Blackbeard with the Shock Willie. We get to see Pudding, who isn't too far away. She's on the ship. She's on the Blackbeard pirate ship. Because she got kidnapped. We see that in the cover story. And she said, "If Mama is still alive, you won't be talking that much longer." So they don't even know if she's still alive or not, which makes sense that they wouldn't know. Um, but she probably is. She's got to still be alive. I'd be surprised if she was dead. And then Blackbeard does the Black Vortex, and then it cuts away. Then we cut back to Egghead with Luffy, Bonnie, Chopper, and Jinbei. And it's funny, Bonnie used her powers to make Luffy old, and Chopper old, and Jinbei young, and herself young. Um, so that they could escape, like, I guess, the Pacifista's radar. And Jinbei talks about how Kuma was a tyrant. But Bonnie's like, yeah, he's not that bad, and like he's not a tyrant. And she wants to like figure out what's going on with Kuma, because we've been wondering exactly the details of Kuma, like what's Kuma's deal for a while, and now it looks like we're starting to figure that out. And she finds the lightsaber. Then we cut back to the other Straw Hats who are flying through the air with the giant robot who's holding the Sunny in its hand, and they're flying to like the top of Egghead. I guess it's to like Vegapunk's laboratory. And Zoro and Brook stay behind. I wonder what's gonna happen with Zoro and Brook. Like, why do they choose to stay behind? And then we get a cool shot of the Straw Hats in their new outfits. And then Shaka says that he suspects that his death is imminent, and he's talking to Dragon. So I want you to hear me out, Dragon. And he looks just like a Daft Punk, like a member of Daft Punk with that helmet. Um, yeah, and that's it. That's actually it. That's all the chapters that I didn't cover yet. Um, so yeah, yeah, that was that. A little bit different, a little different video today. Not quite what I usually do, but I don't know. Maybe I should do that more often. I think the reaction videos are kind of cool though. To like get your initial reaction to the new chapter. So I think I'll keep doing that. So the new chapter should drop tomorrow. So I think I will do a reaction video tomorrow. At least we'll see. Hopefully, maybe not. We'll see how I feel. We'll see if I might be too tired when I get home, or maybe the chapter will drop too late. Sometimes it's been dropping pretty late recently. Um, but I would like to do more reaction videos in the future. So I think I'll do that. But if I don't, I'll do another recap video like this where I'll just go over the chapter. Sometimes I'll do a recap of the chapter before I do the reread. So I might have to do that in the future too. Um, but I do want to cover the new chapters as they come out, even if I don't do it right away. Uh, so anyway, I guess I'll go ahead and end the video here. Oh yeah, something I want to mention real quick. Um, I'm actually, in case you happen to come across this video and you've watched all the way till now, which I don't know what the odds of that are, probably pretty slim, but in case you are one of those people, I just wanted to mention I actually also draw a comic. It's on my Instagram and on a website called Global Comics, and on my Twitter. I would really appreciate if you would check it out and maybe read it if you feel so inclined. If you like One Piece, maybe you'll like what I do. I'm not on Oda's level, I don't pretend to be, but I do enjoy to draw and to write. So, I do that. If you would like to check out my comic, I'll put some links in the description and feel free to check it out. So I just wanted to say that real quick. And yeah, let's see, how long have I been going? 29 minutes. Not quite a half an hour. Uh, but if you watched this video all the way until now, thank you very much. And I will see you in the very near future. Have a good one.